welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome y'all to the show. You know, some breaking news that was sent to me by my brother Loki on the untimely shooting. And when I say untimely shooting, anytime a black man is shot is untimely. But the shooting of Lil Boosie in Dallas. And so I want to bring Brother Loki on the show so we can talk about this energy that's going on with rappers shooting each other. Brother Loki, welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, Brother Black?
Oh, man, you know, it's always a pleasure, man, to have you on, and it's always a pleasure learning from your wisdom. Brother?
Man, appreciate it. Vice versa.
Yes, sir. What can you tell me with this latest shooting, Lil Boosie being shot in Dallas, Texas, and you know Louisiana and Dallas neighbors in a sense. We're not too far apart. We should have some camaraderie. But what is this energy that's going around where rappers, mainly male rappers, shooting each other?
Yeah, I mean, so the news just came out. There was some conflicting reports at first, but now they are saying that he did get hit beneath the knee. And, you know, there's a couple of things that came to mind with it. One of it is just culturally what's going on. The other aspect is a spiritual aspect, which I don't think I'll really be getting deep into that tonight because I got more research to do. I'm kind of got like a personal project going on right now where it's going to take me some time to do a lot of research and a lot of studying to come up with some conclusions about, you know, where we all stand in terms of just us being down here and getting to the next level, you know, even beyond transition, because it relates to this in a major way, but I just don't want to go into it right now.
Okay.
But on the mundane side of things, you know, this goes back to what I've been saying for the longest, is that this is a cultural thing. This is our culture. And when it comes to our people that by and large don't have knowledge of self. So because they're functioning off of a different protocol, which comes directly from slavery. So there's a lot of magic going on in one particular area that I want to touch on, which is the capitis diminutio maxima, which is the full stripping. So people think that, especially, and this is specifically really for the people who don't have knowledge of self. And what I mean by that is, just to be honest with you, a lot of the people that are shooting and killing each other are Christians. Just being honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to, you know, make anybody feel any type of way, but I was a Christian for over 20 years, you know, and before I gained knowledge of self, and I know what I was doing when I was a Christian, and, you know, that's why I can't just, you know, I'm not, you know, here to talk down. I got family members, you know, loved ones that did dirt. I don't talk down to them. I talk to them from the standpoint of where I know where you're coming from, but then there's no excuses at the same time. I done did dirt. I done robbed before. I done broke into people's homes. I done sold pills. You know, I done did my dirt, you know, in the past. It ain't nothing to be proud of. I'm saying that to say that I can relate to the people that are still in that cycle of doing dirt. You know, and it's based on the culture. I was totally ingratiated and surrounded by a culture that was created specifically during slavery, and it just hasn't been. It's still lingering to this day in a major way. It's been totally, you know, ingratiated into what people call black culture, and which is predominantly Christian. You know, so. The fact that we don't have a pre-slavery culture that's a part of our culture that we actually practice as our way of life is the reason why we're out here still acting like cutthroat slaves.
Right.
You know, and even the slaves were actually more honorable than these niggas nowadays.
Right.
You know, and I'm not even totally faulting the niggas, because I know that they're just part of a program, and I know that they've been programmed. But on an individual level, I'm not gonna give no grown man a pass and an excuse to do dumb shit, to do crash dummy shit.
Right. Well,
you know, just because of some kind of trauma that they may have been through, or they just following
right.
some kind of trend, or they beefing with another rapper because they know that's one of the quickest ways to get attention, which equals money, which equals souls, which equals streams, which equals when I put out a video, it's gonna do 300K because I done dissed another nigga in my city. That's the slave way out. That's the whole way out. That's the bitch made way out of the game. That's the cheap way out, man. You know, these niggas, man, is you know, that's a pussy ass way of going about doing this shit, man. You know, you gonna diss somebody that look at you just to get paid, man. That's some whole ass shit, man.
Facts. But you dropped the key though when you said post or coming up out of slavery culture that we didn't create. We carried on the culture that the colonizer, oppressor, or the slave master gave us. So would you say that Christianity is a magical chain or a mental link to the slave mindset? Are those two synonymous?
Facts. Super facts.
Okay.
You know, we've talked about it before on different podcasts that originally a Christian referred to what people commonly call white people. And because, you know, and then when it came to Muslim was a common term that when you say that was synonymous with people that look like me and black.
Right.
You know, African people. And Muslim, you know, now that may have been a little bit later on down the line, but getting back to the point about Christianity is that when it came to how it was implemented into slavery, it was used to make the slaves docile, but also to put them under a lot of spells. So what happens is when it comes to programming is that they just upgraded the programming over time. So it went from the plantation to the jail cell. You know, so it's, you know, when we got stripped of everything that made us who we are, our spiritual system, our names, the contracts that our parents signed off on with the Negro racial status, all of these particular things are magic at its core, because a spell is a word and your name is a spell. So I'm not saying that you got to change your name in order to counteract the spell, but you need to at least have knowledge of self, because that's one way to counteract it.
Right.
You know, so whatever, you know, and the reason why I put so much pressure on the Moorish shit, because I know that it's one of the most practical, it's one of the easiest ways to get Christians and get people who don't have knowledge of self to come into this community, if you will, of people who are vibrating on a similar frequency. Because you could be a Christian and you could become a Moor, but we know low-key that that's going to magnetize you towards higher levels of knowledge.
Right.
And it's going to open you up. It's going to open you up. It ain't just about money and business and politics. It's deeper than that. It's a lot of reasons why they don't want us to get into it, because they know that if you start calling yourself Moors, let's say you get into being a Moor based on strictly money and business, for business purposes and for court purposes, or whatever a person is dealing with. By doing so, as a product of that or as a gateway of that, you're going to be opened up to higher levels of knowledge, and it's going to affect every aspect of your life, your culture, your way of life, what you do, what you say, who you talk to, you know, so on and so forth. So that's the main reason why I push the line for it, is because at the end of the day, at the core of it all, it's going to come down to a metaphysical thing. But at the very start, we tell people about it through the money and the business aspect, because we know that that's what black people are chasing. That's what is what is most appealing to a lot of black people, is if you tell them.
Well, one thing that I understand, and one thing that I know though, bro, is the fact that no.